Thank you, grazie.
Thank you,
Thank
grazie.
you for this nice invitation, nice opportunity to discuss what we study in terms of research, hydrological research, in terms to reconciling the natural water cycle with anthropic one. Because actually, if you look all the problems we have in excess runoff, in water management, mainly are given by the a disorder introduced by anthropic activity in the natural hydrological cycle. So the challenging is how to reconcile this, and I can do this also considering engineering's environmental and natural solution altogether. I like very much the approach of this conference because it's the idea that we as a techniques works as a medical doctor when each approach a human body. So we provide the right medicine, but we should be able to don't make errors and to don't destroy the other process running on. Is this the idea that is behind this presentation? Presentation that, I can use this one too? How can we switch on this?
The clicker is next. Do you have the clicker?
Okay. Presentation that went to deal with several examples of engineering solution in reconciling hydrological cycle between natural and anthropic one. You will see several example based on early warning system, structural works, measure in the environment of our town. Let me also thanks all the group that I lead, that is the research group from Politecnico di Milano, but is also the spin-off group from the company that helps me to approach in an operational way what I try to study at Politecnico di Milano. Let me go with this small conceptual schemes. When we have to decide how to what is the size, how we have to manage, have to define the dimension of our structural engineering issue, hydraulic ones, we always have to make a deal, a trade-off between what is the residual, hazard risk, means the flood risk that we can attenuate it with reducing the frequency using, for instance, structural works as a detention basin, for instance, tank storage in an urban environment, with the management of the residual risk. What is the, how we manage this? Maybe this we can manage with the civil protection action, with the action that in a preventive way may be used to reduce the vulnerability of a territory. These are, so that I like also to stress, that is, as you see, nothing is always news. So this is new. This is a Nemec, a 1986 solution when he was talking about the managing of this residual risk with civil protection activity, with preventive protection action. And the concept is not to keep the water away from the people, but the people away from the waters. But for doing this, you need to do this in advance. Because of course, you cannot do during an event, but you have to do before maybe 1 or 2 days. And in these things, the meteorological forecast and how this meteorological forecast is a filter by the hydrological system modeling may give a support in this respect. These are some pictures of the Milano area flooded by frequent floods that we experience. Let me say why that's happened. We discuss, I also like some previous speakers' comments about to look at the problem as one entire problem. We have one waters, but we have also one catchment. This is the Seveso catchment area. Milano is below here, and this is how, during the time, actually, after the Second World War, the increase in urbanized area has changed the percentage of impervious area. That means, this is the list of quite a recent flood, that means that the frequency, and this is a plot, I'm sorry it's too small, is a plot between the design the return period, so the frequency, and the runoff volume, and actually the discharge, sorry, in cubic meter per second. How you see they are not parallel line, but these are made for the different land use from 1954 to nowadays. And what you may see is that the angle, they diverse, that the change in the return period, and so that in a frequency is not only due to the possible change in the rainfall intensity, but mainly due to the difference in land use. For this reason, Milano was approached with the two Milano problems. This is the area of Milano problem. Was approached also with this warning system, that put together the meteo forecast, the hydrological water balance, and the forecast, and provide the forecast of hydrograph. This hydrograph is compared with a warning threshold in the main river cross section above Milano. This is a very, this is a Seveso river. It's a river with a very small slope. We're talking about less than 1%, and then it was diverted to the Milan center since from the Roman time, because for water use, for defense problem, for sanity problem. Of course, there was a land use at that time of the Romans. Nowadays, we expanded our territory in very productive area over this river, and clogging the river cross section very restricting the river section very much. So what was actually presented here is you see different rainfall forecast and how we transform different rainfall forecast in hydrograph, forecasted hydrograph with 1 or 2 days in advance. And then if you have this kind of, there is no time to go on the website of this application, but you may do easily with a little bit of calm. And when this hydrograph forecast overpass some thresholds, this is warning threshold, you have that the blinking and alarm will be diffused to the population also with the SMS. This is for the forecast, but it is also for the present time. This is a system that the municipality upstream of Milano has wanted to set up to control in real time what is the stage of the water level in the river, so that they can activate what are the schedule, the organized civil protection plan actions. These are the basin area. We're talking about 200 square kilometers that drain to Milano, but all these areas are very urbanized. And why I put and these are the type, the numbers of meteorological models we use to assess our hydrograph computation. Why so many? It's like where we want to go outside and we look at different meteo forecasts, okay? Because we want we want to have a more reliable forecast. Yes, it is. And but the issue is also morphological regarding to this catchment area. As you may see, this catchment is very narrow. And our perturbation move from west to east. So it is easier that we may have that the center of rainfall is outside of our catchment. And in this case, we can have still high rainfall, but not in our catchment. So we can risk to give a false alarm, or at the same time, we can miss the alarm. For this reason, the number of multimodal meteorological approach was an issue, was a challenging activity. An interesting situation, and I think I find this also in the previous presentations, more than one, is the involvement of a citizen. So not only in this case, in terms of provided, observed rainfall data. So there is not only the institutional...
Jakby nie tylko mamy obserwacje danych przez instytucje, przez region Lombardii, ale mamy również taką organizację społeczną, stowarzyszenie obywateli, którzy prowadzą swoje obserwacje na pojedynczych stacjach i przesyłają również dane. Te dane nie są aż tak precyzyjne jak nasz Instytut Meteorologii, nie jest to bardzo precyzyjne, ale to jest dla nas wystarczająca informacja, która pozwoli nam na oszacowanie spływu wody deszczowej, więc dla nas lepiej mieć po prostu bardziej rozproszoną taką siatkę pomiarów niż po prostu jeden pomiar w jednym miejscu, ale bardziej precyzyjny. Tak przynajmniej wynika z naszego doświadczenia. I tutaj jest kolejny wykres, na którym chciałbym tylko podkreślić następującą rzecz. Oczywiście to nie jest łatwe, żeby te wyniki zanalizować, ponieważ oczywiście błąd, jakby ten margines błędu meteorologicznego jest cały czas duży i w tym przypadku mamy taką wąską zlewnię, więc jeszcze ten margines błędu się zwiększa, nawet 40% margines błędu w przewidywaniu powodzi, jeżeli opieramy się tylko na danych meteorologicznych. Jeżeli użyjemy jeszcze danych obserwacyjnych, wtedy ten margines błędu spada do poniżej 20%, jeżeli chodzi o przewidywanie powodzi. I na tym slajdzie chciałbym podkreślić, że jeżeli myślimy o modelowaniu, rodzaju modelowania, czy wykorzystujemy modele deterministyczne, że mamy jedną prognozę pogody, opadów, czy może bardziej taki wykres spaghetti, gdzie mamy mnóstwo różnych danych wejściowych. Według mnie powinniśmy spojrzeć na świat po prostu rzeczywisty, tak jak on wygląda i powinniśmy po prostu odnieść się do tych danych, które pozwalają nam
the observed alarm, so that
w taki
this is
sposób
what is called
przewidywać
PPR, is
powódź,
the numbers that the indicators, the benchmark that, in my opinion, we have to look when we are going to choose which kind of forecast model we have to plug in hydrological model. Here you see that, for instance, the number of correct forecast is this one, and there is a decay if using different meteorological forecast models. This is the application for this Bovesio Masciago upstream to Milano is just a few kilometers in a very dense urbanized area to control the several rivers in real time. So the municipality receive immediately SMS once we have the overpass of the yellow that is really...
Marco, can I just interrupt you for a second?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm here, to your left, to your left. That's another left, the other one. Hello, here I am. Hello. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but we've got about 2 minutes left. So I know that you've got a lot of slides, so I'm just asking you to sort of come close to a conclusion, okay?
Of course, I'm rushing. Sorry that I'm rushing.
Oczywiście, staram się tutaj
University professor, this is a university professor sometimes talk too much. This is an idea that is a sketch that is about the reconciling the natural hydrological cycle with the anthropic one, playing and acting on all the components of the hydrological cycle. This is an experience, I'm sorry for the shortness of time, it was the huge flood in the Sardinia region, 10 people dead. And the reason and the activity here was to identify a kind of distributed small synergic activity. Why this? I'm rushing out because there is no time. But what I would like to emphasize is that the design discharge not necessarily have to be the one that is given to us by the river authority, but according to European directive, flood European directive, the cost-benefit analysis identify that the design can be done also with the small return period, so that, but of course you have to manage with the protection, civil protection action, the residual risk that is. Give me 1 second. You know why this? I'm moving out. There is a other activity more oriented in the urban environment for zenithal rainfall, but there is no time. Although there are, the important is also controlling that what we assume in the design hypothesis are really works in natural environment. These are some tests of hydraulic conductivity below this box for increasing the dispersion flux of the water. Let me conclude. I personally think, I'm not going to read that stuff, but I personally think that a trade-off between structural and non-structural works, between naturally based solution and traditional engineering, could be the really good recipe for improving our resilience to change also in climatic change. I personally think, and I conclude, that hydraulic structures are not social accepted very much, because I am always able to, due to the gravity issue, I always keep the garden of someone upstream to solve the problem of some other one downstream. And of course, this is not social accepted, so that using this approach may looking for a trade-off is able to define smaller structural works, more friendly, suitable for our dense urbanized territory. But so that right, and this is my message actually, this is my experience. If you do a large work, you have a conflict with social conflict, and this will take so long to be realized that probably will be not sufficient. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Professor Mancini, apologies. I know it's a torture to give a university professor a quarter of an hour to talk about, squeeze all the message in.
Exactly. This is also challenging. Thanks. I hope I was clear enough.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to you.
All the best. Wielkie brawa, proszę Państwa. Również za próbę skrótu. Tam zostało jeszcze kilkanaście slajdów.